Everybody, Captain Gyro here, and I'm here with my guy Pizza Wizard, my good buddy and world champion. How's it going, Pizza Wizard? Say hi to everybody.
Hello, it's great to be here. Great to see another game in this new League of Dracula 2024. It's exciting.
And today we've got Fangs of Fire playing as the Hunters and Skybreaker96 playing as Dracula. Oh,
I'm very excited to see
it looks like,
Skybreaker playing. I'm very excited.
yeah, yeah. He actually didn't play too shabby either against Fangs of Fire until the very end of the game. He kind of let some mistakes snowball out of hand, but that's what happens sometimes. It's how Dracula
Yeah,
can win.
look, sometimes you don't read your cards. You don't realize that, a card has a certain effect or like the conjunction of cards does something really good. I'm glad to see him playing because I remember I played with him like I think more than a year ago, and then we didn't really see him for a while. But to see like someone like that come back into the community and participate in one of these tournaments, really, that's how we need new blood, right? If it's just the same old timers playing against each other over and over and over again, that's fun, sure. But I think that the new people really bring an interesting perspective.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They got a new lobby going, by the way. If you want to hop in there,
Great.
there was some kind of technical issue. Or precaution, I think they were taking.
Dracula saw his encounter hand, decided it was bad.
Yeah, let's
Tanked the
restart.
router.
Rats, saboteur, wolves. No, thank you.
This is Fangs on Hunters, and he's putting. I only see Nina right now. I think everybody else hasn't loaded for me. Where are the other hunters starting?
We've got Van Helsing in London, Mina in Madrid, and the two young gentlemen in Munich.
Okay, so we're doing a superhero-esque star, maybe a little bit shifted west, because you got Mina all the way in Madrid and both of them in Munich rather than Vienna.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not a bad little start.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you hope between the two guys in Munich, you hope they're going to get a horse situation worked out, and then they can just charge off east after Dracula's trail if he's in the east.
I've been a Scott Sword believer in the Mina Godalming combination is just the way to go. It's the only way. But Wakajik and some of these other people who have been playing this Seward Godalming together, it's growing on me a little bit. I kind of see what they're going for, right? Because I mean, if Seward more items on the two, being able to hold 7 rather than 6 means that you're less likely to discard good items because you have too many from Godalming supplying, and it strengthens up the east, which has historically been a prime starting location.
I think it's a pretty good idea. Go on, sorry.
No, go ahead. You think it's a pretty good idea?
Well, it's interesting. It has some give and some take because you're strengthening up your strongest hunters, but you're making your weakest hunter. You're putting her in a vulnerable situation, right? So if Dracula decides to start in Spain, and somebody has to deal with his encounters, it's most likely going to have to be Mina. And if that happens, she can end up in a world of hurt.
That's true. Maybe that's why you put them in Munich instead of Vienna, because from Munich, if they have decent horses, they can get all the way to, I mean, Marseille in 1 move, or like if they have good rails, they can get to Bordeaux in 2 moves. I think you're right that it is weakening Mina a little bit, but I've been kind of convinced by the fact, at least I think what's really been making me think that maybe the start is better is that I've found that when I have Godalming and Mina together, I will often send off Mina to deal with whatever Dracula's encounter is if they're the closest pair, just because I want Godalming to keep supplying because he's more likely to draw whatever item I'm looking for. And if I do that, I'm putting Mina in danger because I'm sending her at the encounter, and that leads to like Mina getting bat trapped because they see, they put a bat in Sophia and they see Mina's gonna go for it and they hit her with a bat or something.
And you'd
But
rather send Dr. Seward.
Right, you'd rather send Seward, right? Am I sending Mina into more danger by leaving her alone to the west? Because I think that if Dracula starts to the west of the two hunters, Dracula's kind of starting not quite boxed in, but
yeah,
he's quite close to all of them.
It's one of those things where if he wants to start in Spain, let him. I mean, is that really going to work out great for him? I mean, you never know exactly how the scouts and the newspapers and things like that are going to work out. So you can't just plan on saying, "Oh, I'll just ping 12 and then we'll know," because maybe he hasn't been there yet. Like, but I don't know. Starting in Spain just doesn't seem great. Oh, he's been revealed in Bucharest with the search from
We
Rufus
see the
Smith.
Eastern start rear its head.
Okay, interesting.
That is actually, I mean,
Pretty good search.
Yeah, Fangs of Fire's got to feel good about that one. There was 2 spaces he could have been found on. He searched 1 space and found on one of those 2 spaces. I mean, I think if I'm hunters, I'm super excited about that.
Oh yeah, that's a very bang on the money search. He was. It's a good check too, because you want to check worst case scenario first, right? So if Dracula wants to move from 10 to 17, that's a pretty bad situation for the hunters. They have to get all the way to 17 to stop the encounter. So you might as well search 10 now. So that makes sense. I maintain and insist, though, that 56 is actually the better location for Dracula to put his first encounter down. But
1, 2, 3,
Varna,
4,
as opposed to Constantine.
I mean, I agree with you in that it is 1 rail connection further away, so it can't be if they're in Vienna, you can't charter carriage onto 56, which I like. That's why I like Amsterdam so much more than Hamburg, just because it's not on a rail connection. One of the reasons I like Amsterdam better than Hamburg. I mean, I agree with you there. I think that's a quite reasonable take. I suppose the only thing that is worse with 56 is if you're planning to, if you start in 56, like let's say your first encounter is 56, you either go 17 or you go 50, and if you're going 50, you're using Sofia quite early, so if you go to Sofia and then you go north, it's really hard for you to get back south, and if you use Sofia and you go south, it's really hard for you to get back north. You're kind of splitting the east in half. But
yeah, good old Sofia does that. It's true. Well, I mean,
you can always just go to 17 and then go the other way around, right? I mean,
right. If you're watching this and you're wondering, what do I mean first encounter? He put his first encounter down in Bucharest. Yeah, he did, but I think the idea is he's just doing the old build the wall in front of 17 strategy, right? He's trying to put like bats or fog or something down at 10, or maybe a saboteur, and then the real quote unquote first encounter you would put in 17, right?
I mean, because he knows what his encounter hand is. It might have been not great. He might have like wanted to draw an extra card before he put down whatever his like actual, where he actually wanted to put his eggs, before putting in the basket.
I've seen Roscoe do this. I think I've seen other people do this. It's a good move to put something in 10 that delays like a bats or a fog, and then they can't get to 17, and 17 will mature.
I quite like putting something in 49, just because if they're forcing down from their 58 or 38, they will often go to 49.
If you're not gonna try to like get to Zagreb and wolf over Munich and get out of the east and into the west, then yeah, the sooner you move to 49, the better, because you could put something there and move closer to the hunters, and then your next turn you can start moving further away from them again, right?
Yeah, you can kind of back out, right? You can go something like, I don't know, maybe 10, 6, 49, and then go all the way back to 50, and then suddenly, like, you've put something in 49, sure, but you still have all these options in the east, even after you went that far west.
Yeah, exactly. I put a bats there with rumor token one time.
People like putting rumor tokens on bats, because then the people with stakes run at it.
It's OP, dude. Yeah, they run at it with the stake, like, we gotta kill it, and then they get batted into a lair. It's, like, really strong.
Or they go after it, and then the real, like, hoax/vampire is actually maturing somewhere else, but the person with the stake isn't going after it because they're going after the bat instead, right?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he does care about Bucharest. He's putting a rumor token on, unless it's a
Maybe
bat.
It's a bat. Yeah, and then he can push him away into 28 or something. Or if he's lurking, he can push them even onto Dracula himself.
I've seen some good, like, Mina trap. I mean, obviously this isn't going to be a Mina trap because Mina's all the way in Spain, but, like, against me with my setup, we're putting Mina, and these people, Dracula, like, set up these bat things where Mina will run into it, and then Mina will get batted into, like, 2 vampires during a night fight. Or, like, 2 vampires during a night fight, and then Dracula's also there, and then he'll, like, feed or something to get it, like...
Get it there,
there's
going, yeah.
Yeah, to kind of just try to like assassinate one of the hunters. It's going
Yeah.
to be a lot harder to do that against Seward. Obviously, a pro at this start. On the other hand, there will be no scanning over there, so hunter's going to be a little bit more in the dark as to like if he's leaving, right? If you had Mina, you could probably start scanning Austro-Hungary and know whether he's like trying to go west or east. It's not that important though. I mean, you don't really need to know where he is or not. You just kind of want to supply.
I think as Dracula, you gotta try to exploit Seward's weakness, which like the only weakness he has is that he can't clear the trail by searching at night and heal at the same time.
So you mean the weakness that every hunter has, except it's slightly negated on him because he heals twice as fast.
Right, but it's extra important to make sure that he does not have night actions to heal,
That's
if
true.
possible. If you can set things
Denying
up
him night
that
actions
way.
denies more heal.
Yeah, exactly. Your damage that you stick is going to be more meaningful if he spends the next day getting hit by a bat, right? Or he spends the next day digging up a hoax or an aristocratic.
I agree in the short term. I think as soon as Dracula goes to sea, though, or he like makes some sort of move that doesn't put pressure on them, he can heal immediately. But I agree that in the short term, pressuring John Seward's life total is possible by delaying like that. And if they're day healing, every time 100 day heals, even if it's the right move for them, I smile because that is one less supply they're getting.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's the correct move to day heal, though. I've done it. Everybody does it when you need to do it. But as Dracula, if they're day healing, that means they're not day supplying.
Right.
They're gonna have to move after this thing.
That's the real trick. Is anybody can damage the hunters. Anybody can damage the hunters for a lot, but turning that into either a kill, or even if you don't get the kill, as long as you leverage the damage somehow, right? Like John Seward's at 1 health, so he's absolutely not going to move onto your space, so you know you can just move without having to worry about like the renewed vigor combo.
So
that kind of knowledge
like he's not
can
there.
be really important, right? It's like he's not there, exactly. But what often happens is, Dracula, the only way he can deal that much damage is by laying down a big trail. And then by then, it's time to go to sea. And the hunters could just sit there and heal. So you really have to try to play that encounter
ride the
location management game. I mean, that's what it's all about. But it's almost like the game within the game.
So they don't have to go to Bucharest today, right? But if they want to get it, they do have to move tomorrow. I mean, if they want to get it by normal means, I should say. Like, if they want a horse there.
Well, it's tricky because it's still so early.
They might not have horses.
How's your horse situation? We don't even know. And even if you do have a couple of them, how's the ticket situation?
True. I've not been paying attention to night actions.
I think it's
but I imagine the tickets are perfect. Yeah. Quite good if you had perfect tickets already.
And it would just feel so bad. Even if let's say you just had the one white one in the pool, right? And every other one was a yellow too. And you get ready to horse to 11 or to 49 and you hit that white one. That would just be so bad right now.
I mean, especially if it's like something like a bats under 10, right? And like you use, like, that's the worst, is when you spend the resources to get to the spot, and then it was shadow on a wall. There wasn't actually anything there. That's the worst, right? It would have been better, obviously, if you could do nothing, but you don't know that, right? You don't know until you go there.
Yeah.
So, it's like, sometimes I think hunters just cut their losses and let things mature, and I think that's okay. You know, because the worst case scenario is you try to go after it and you fail, and then you spend the resources and they get the benefit.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, you sense of emergency or chartered carriage or whatever onto the vampire, but it matures anyway because you weren't able to finish the job or something like that. Or you get hit by the fog and now the hoax matures. I agree. That's like the worst feeling because then you're down cards and Dracula's scored anyway.
Ooh.
But it's also really difficult to play 7 points behind.
Yeah.
It can be scary because all Dracula needs to do is like mature one more vampire and then just play super safe for the rest of the game.
Well, right, it just puts so much more pressure on the hunters to deal with everything on the trail, and it means that if he gets the last week, he doesn't need to have like a long end game. He can just like move twice, right? Moving, he could even move to one spot. He could go to Keg and hide there and win, right? Like those options are so much more open when you have 7 points.
It's like, okay, we're gonna give up this rumored vampire, right? But in return, what we're paying is that now we can't really give up anything else. We have to make everything else count. And
So
not mature.
he's moving Van Helsing off England, and he's moving me up to 42. I kind of like both those moves because we know he's in the east. It does make me wonder if Van Helsing maybe has a horse that he wants to give to Mina.
It's possible. It's possible he's just getting people in generally more relevant positions.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably move Van Helsing even if he doesn't have a horse, just because you want him probably in like Marseille rather than on England once you know that he's in parties.
This would be a hell of a time for Van Helsing to have multiple horses on him.
On the other hand, if what I could see, that is one less ticket. So if the ticket economy was in question, I might not move him just to get the extra ticket. If I was like, do or die, I need my third white one to get to this Bucharest today.
But I mean, what you can always do is, I mean, what
you can always,
if they had moved a little bit sooner, they could have just trained there, right? You could have moved to 58 2 days ago, and then you could have gone
3 days of moving.
Yeah, it's not efficient terribly. It's 3 days of movement instead of 2 days of movement, but you're getting there faster and dealing with it. But if they don't have the right items, then they don't have the right items, so there wouldn't really be any point anyway.
And they might not also have the best tickets, right? One of them might have like, a yellow one and a white one, right? And in that case, they don't want to like start moving. Okay, horses.
Right. He's letting them loose, and
they're rolling good.
There's a fine-looking horse you got there, partner.
Okay. I like moving to 11 here, actually, because I think 49 is a little bit riskier, and it's less likely that Dracula went to, like, 11. So going there is better because you're less likely to get interference before you hit 10.
Yeah, you don't want to run into anything else. You just want to clear up that rumor.
Yeah, because going to 11, there is no easy way back east, right? It's like that whole Austro-Hungary region outside of the fast track from, like, 38 to 49 is very slow and congested.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it's just Godalming.
Yeah, Seward's going to continue to supply.
You only really need one guy, right? There's no hide card, so...
We discarded a Heavenly Host, but we got a hired scouts.
Discarding a Heavenly Host on Sword, he's got to already have one, if he's discarding one.
One would think, yeah. And doesn't want to give up his, like, weapon and stake.
What is he supplying from? Well, okay, obviously supplying is good. I'm just wondering what's in his hand. Oh.
Okay, Belgrade. That's going to make things a little harder for Dracula.
Yeah, that you don't really want. I mean, thankfully he's not in Belgrade right now. He's one space beyond that. But I mean, he's probably in 49 right now, right?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, 53 also possible.
49 gives you options. 53 doesn't really give you options.
28 also a possibility.
But I mean, he could be lurking around there to try to trap Godalming. I mean, heck, he could have gone to 28, hoping that Godalming is now going to move on to 10, right? That's pretty obvious. So you read the hunter's movements and you say, okay, he's going to 10. Well, guess where I'm going? To 11 next turn.
I wouldn't even be shocked if Godalming tickets tomorrow, just because I doubt his horse economy is like 100% perfect. He'll probably just ticket to 10 tomorrow to guarantee it works.
I would give up a yellow 1 ticket to try to get a 2-2. And if you don't get it, you might hit the perfect. You might get a yellow 1 back anyway, right?
I mean, if he doesn't ticket tomorrow, I'd actually take that as a sign he probably has at least one white 1 on him because he wasn't able to. Like, that would be the awkward thing is if you had a white 1, you tried to ticket for a yellow 2, and then you, like, drew 1 and then discarded it. But if you have 2 free ticket slots, it's much easier to keep hold of a yellow 2. So if he doesn't take it, that makes me think he's holding on to some valuable, or I say the bad tickets, holding on to the quote-unquote bad tickets. Okay, Mina is not meeting up with Van Helsing, so probably not a horse trade happening.
I wonder if this is a bunch of trickery going on here, because you would think he rumored Bucharest, He was revealed there, so he couldn't have hid there. But, well, maybe no. Because maybe it's not trickery, because Dracula's plans were foiled by being discovered early, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he just thought to himself, I'm going to rumor it anyway, even though it's been discovered, because I put my vampire down there, and I want it to be worth something. Then he went to Sophia. What did he put down there? Bats on the hide card?
I don't know. Do you care about bats anymore? Like, is the bat on Sophia? If the encounters in Bucharest, is the bat in Sophia gonna do much? I mean, maybe Bucharest will probably get layered before they step onto it, so it'll push them into a layer.
That's true, but yeah, you're right. It won't have the power of the initial bats. But the problem is, if you're Dracula and you put your first card down and it's bats, you know what happens every time, right? No newspaper reports, no.
They don't find it, and then it matures.
They don't find it, and you have to lair it, and then after that, they find the next encounter and they squash it. It's happened to me once before. I was playing Scott Sword. It was so funny. I just couldn't believe he couldn't find my first encounter, and I had no choice but to lair the bats. And the next encounter was in 24, and he still hadn't found anything, and he just randomly decided, I think I'll just let the horses loose and poke around a bit and see if I can find him the old-fashioned way. And he went to 24 and found the hoax. It was so fucking annoying.
Could you imagine right now if 10 is actually bats or something?
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
50
saying.
is like a hoax, and he hit on 50 to protect the hoax, and now the hoax will probably mature?
That's sort of what I was thinking. It could be some kind of shenanigans like that. Because
the hide in Sophia definitely makes me think there's something going on there. I don't know what it is.
Why would he have put a vampire down in 10 to begin with? Even before he was discovered there, right? Like, why would
10 is kind of exposed, I suppose, right?
Yeah,
if you want to max protect, you put in 17 or 56, or 3, I suppose, really.
It's like I said, the initial plan was go to 17 and put something down there, but instead, since he was discovered, he tried to throw him for a loop and go to 50 instead. And then, like you said, maybe it is the hoax, and it's protected by something.
Is Dracula in 59 right now? Because if I'm Dracula, I'm in 59, he could wolf form, and he could like wolf form back to Bologna, he could wolf form to 57, 37, 60, 41.
It's a dangerous part of the game right now. This is where Dracula can potentially escape from east to west.
Obviously, it's unfortunate that like Jon Stewart might just draw like a local rumors or something, and then you got pretty good.
I mean, 37 would be so dangerous. Oh, look how safe it looks, because Dr. Seward's never going to go there. But if all of a sudden he did, Van Helsing, if he has a chartered carriage, he can get to you, and Mina can get to you with just a yellow tooth.
Van Helsing is daytime trading with Godalming.
Okay, who wants him to be ready to search this? He's giving him like a escape route or something, maybe.
That's interesting.
Okay, setting up for a potential psychic bond here, because if Dracula wants to wolf form to Nuremberg, and they don't move, they could sit there. Okay, it's an aristocratic.
So Sophia's gonna mature then, probably.
And he didn't reveal a stake. If that had been a fighter vamp, who knows what might have happened.
Maybe he's willing. If it was a fighter vamp, he had like a planned ambush or something like that. Maybe that's what Van Helsing was trading him, was like something to help him kill the vampire. Oh, yeah. I mean, because I think people do like to put aristocratics as their first encounter, right? They like that. I think it's a common practice if you have one. Obviously, sometimes you don't, and then you have to put down a fighter vampire, and then it feels pretty bad if you don't use your stake, especially with there's no time to spare like this. But
some good gameplay going on here, though. Maybe he saw the no ambush. And then he thought, okay, there could be something tricky going on here, and traded him a card. Like you said, maybe a planned ambush, maybe escape route. Escape route.
Yeah, I mean, you could kill a reckless vampire that way. I feel like a new vampire is going to be tough, even with a planned ambush, to get rid of.
Maybe heroically.
But then again, that's only 5 damage. Got 6 health. Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't account for everything. Maybe he was hoping, well, at least if it is a reckless vampire, we can heroic leap it.
Mm-hmm. And then if it's not, no harm, no foul, we just don't use the heroic leap and we still have it.
Yeah.
Interesting. If this is a hoax in Sophia, the Mystic research might get blocked here.
Well, yeah, I mean, another thing about aristocratics is that if they don't have, or they decide they don't want to reveal the stake, the aristocratic delays them, which is one of the better effects in my opinion. And then your next encounter right behind the aristocratic can go through. So you're sitting there hoping either you get your 7 points, and if you don't, well, you've got your bodyguards or your hoax right behind it. Maybe you'll get that instead.
Maybe we should be rumoring saboteurs. Maybe that's the next stage of this evolution, because it's like the aristocratic vampire in that it will delay them when they search it at night.
Except they guarantee a delay instead of only doing it when they don't stake. Roscoe did that in a game to pretty good effect. I think Saboteur is one of the more underrated Dracula cards. Yeah, it can't protect you from a big gang fight or anything like that, but it's actually pretty useful. Being delayed is really, really irritating for hunters. It's just like playing a trading card game, Pizza. Lose one turn is like one of the most powerful effects.
That's true, but I feel like the time to lose it is during the day, and I feel like late in the game they are not searching your encounters as much. Right? Like if it's like third week, end of third week, not searching your encounters. So then you're only going to delay them for a night action, which is less effective because you're probably going to have to ambush them.
No, I agree that they have a time and a place, and it's not at the end of the game. At the end of the game, when you're desperately fleeing from them and they're giving up on your encounters, you need other cards. 100%. But I think early on and towards the mid game, when they're sort of after you and on your trail and closing in and around you, they're still going to be checking your encounters.
The 59 wolf farm. Yeah, that was good by Skybreaker.
Oh,
ooh,
like he ambushed
fog.
But here's the thing is, I bet Fangs of Fire would have searched that.
Yeah.
I bet he would have. And if it was a Saboteur, he'd lose his next turn. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
But, like, it's good to have it right here at this stage in the game.
I think it might be a little bit of a premature fog, both in the ambush and the placement. I feel like he didn't necessarily need to throw one. I mean, maybe he didn't feel very safe. Like he thought maybe John Stewart would move on to him, and he wanted just like a little bit of a safety net. I could see that. But yeah, I mean, look, the 59 wolf form is really good, right? Because there's still that thought of, did he just wolf form to Valona, right? Because he could still be in the east right now, and the only way to know for sure is to check Valona, which is going to take time.
Right.
And until then, they're moving around. I feel like I would prefer supplied action here, honestly, if they had both just supplied, because there's 4 proximity events. If they had drawn any of them, it would have given them big
I was thinking the same thing last turn, was that I thought he put those hunters in 38 specifically so that he could just spam supplies and try to get information on Dracula's wolf form.
Maybe they wanted to trade items. Did they trade at night? I didn't see. Maybe they wanted to trade items.
I'm not totally sure, to be honest. And you could have psychics bonded, and that would have eliminated 41 as well, without the need to move and lose the day action, right?
Right. Obviously, I mean, once you move down to her. I mean, I think that checking Zagreb makes sense, because the 59 will form is likely, but it's not the only option from... He could have gone, theoretically, could have will form from, like, 11 to 44. Okay, that's pretty bad, actually. I don't know. There were other possibilities.
There were, agreed. There were other things he could have done, but most of them end with he's, like, either really close by, or he went down into Athens, kind of, or towards 56.
Right.
Most of them end with Dracula jumping over Munich and into North Italy, right? So Zurich, 37, 57, and possibly 41, right?
Okay.
Possibly.
Let's see a hoax. If he hid here for a reason, right? It's got to be a hoax. What else would it be? If it's a vampire, it's pretty sad.
Follow up the aristocratic vampire with something really juicy, yeah, because the aristocratic delays.
I don't think he's using his night supplies either, so it would mess up his mystic research. Just be really into it. Be really good gameplay. Skybreaker, I'm cheering for you.
Oh, it's only the Saboteur.
Is he messing? Is that the rail line?
Looks like it is. If the Saboteur had been in 10, which is where it belongs, then you could, objectively, you always put the Saboteur in 10.
I'm just sad because now I feel like the hide card was kind of a waste because now the hide's not going to do anything.
Mhm.
Now the hunters have time to like mop up the 2 other encounters pretty easily. You know, they have 2 people there. They can just do it today with if they both move like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if the Saboteur
Dracula's not in any
10,
immediate danger.
Godalming
but...
would have been delayed, and then you put the Aristocratic in 50, and that would have gone through. Now, granted, with the rumor token placement being different, he might have behaved differently, but you'd still get your 4 points.
Yeah, that's why I like a hoax there, right? Because a hoax doesn't need a rumor token to be at full effectiveness.
Agreed.
I really wonder why
Maybe
he hid
he
in
didn't
50
have
with
a
that
hoax.
Saboteur. I mean, okay, he could have not had a hoax. That makes sense. I just wonder why he hid there. Maybe he wanted more information before he moved from Sophia, but it's a big waste of, like tempo. It's a little bit of a tempo loss for Dracula because he didn't get to, like, there's nothing scary about a hide card. That's essentially a nothing burger now.
Yeah, I can ignore that. A nothing burger.
Yeah, so he's going to deal with Belgrade. Jensu will probably deal with 49, or he could even move back to Munich because Godalming has plenty of time to deal with both these encounters. Maybe he'll just, like, completionist want to go after 49. Depends if he has a horse or not, really. Does he have a horse? If he has a horse, maybe he can just go to 49. Because then he can horse back. But if he doesn't have a horse, maybe he wants to go to 38 to supply for the horse.
True, because you don't want to have to
Move back.
Go to 49 and then back. No, I would say just have Godalming deal with 49 on his way east or west.
I think it feels unsatisfying to move him out there just to move him back the next turn. I think, like, from a player perspective, I think it feels unsatisfying. Oh!
Well, that's even
he
more
went to 53.
unsatisfying.
Oh, this is awful. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. He moved to 53, moved to 59.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I think you were right. Send him back to Munich. You still have Mystic Research, right? So he could have nice one.
I don't think they. I shouldn't be paying closer attention to their right actions. I don't know if they've used any of their Mystic Researches, but yeah,
now he's gone in probably the wrong direction. Now it's still possible Dracula actually went to 55, in which case maybe he's sending Seward there to check.
Ooh, you do not want to get found today.
Good old Zurich.
Yeah. Ooh, Reckless. I like putting a Reckless there because there is some possibility that, like, John Seward's supplies find out you're there or finds out that you're in this area and, like, somebody checks Zurich because it's a good option. I kind of like that. And Zurich is nice because he can go west without going through Marseille.
The classic Dracula hope that, like, when I put down, I'm surrounded by 3 hunters, so I'll put down a Reckless. And if they want to fight me, it'll fang all of them, right? And then they move on to you and they just kill it with knives. Because you keep trying to fang them. Although double Reckless can be quite powerful. Because it's like Dracula's being protected by a vampire that has 8 health. And all the advantages of a Reckless.
Well, yeah, and he gets a new hand for the second. Like, I think getting the power of getting the new, like, it means you could play all the powerful cards in the first fight and then draw a new hand and maybe have some of those cards back.
Yeah,
I think that's also, it's better than an 8 health vampire.
Yeah, you're right. It's like an 8 health vampire with a hand refresh that shuffles all the good cards back into the deck so you can draw them again. You're absolutely right.
I mean, assuming that he has the bad cards. You could, obviously that could work both ways. You could have a bad hand with the first vampire and then draw a bad hand with the second one and be like, where are my good cards?
But there's like a 60% chance as the vampire that you have whatever card you want. Like not
something
every
like that.
card
65. I think I did the math at one point. There's like for any card that there's 2 copies of, right? You have like a 65% chance to have in your opening hand. Something like that.
So you're rarely going to be like bemoaning your situation like, oh, where's my fangs? Where's my strength? I mean, I say rarely. It happens like 30% of the time, which is not insignificant.
I feel that 30%.
But yeah,
no
for
spy.
better or worse, they're usually able to get their stuff. And it's rats. He sniffed it out with the doggos.
Oh yeah, those dogs, maximum effectiveness.
Nice. Well played, dogs.
Oh, Seward is not ticketing. That means that he's satisfied with what his tickets are. Oh, and of course Van Helsing has a stake. Okay. Well, I think the hunters have done a pretty good job of kind of keeping Dracula under control.
Oh yeah.
His encounters are just like flopping. Admittedly, 53 they have to deal with 53, but they can do that. They have plenty of people time to do that. I guess the only and John Stewart's slightly out of position, but that's okay. They have time. They'll probably scan France tomorrow, right, to see if he went to like. Do you think he went Strasbourg or 24 from 60?
Zurich, probably
Like,
Strasbourg.
Okay. Yeah, Strasbourg would make sense. And then even if they scan France, that doesn't necessarily rule out Strasbourg because he could go to 40. He could go to like 16 from there.
I mean, 24 kind of makes sense too because of the positions of the hunters at the time. Like, if he went to Strasbourg, he'd be right between Van Helsing and Mina. They wouldn't even have to do anything but move a single road.
I was kind of bemoaning, or maybe not bemoaning, but I was thinking that the fog was a little bit early. But I do think that with the ability to, if he's going to be moving on land a lot, he could get that fog back, right? And then maybe it's not like it was a waste of a fog because he'll draw it back. Like, that's very possible because he's been on land this whole time. And I think he'll probably be on land for probably 2-3 more moves at least.
And Seward does have horses.
Seward does have a horse, but his
Fortunately
ticket
for
economy is
Dracula,
nothing.
it's just a 1 anyway. But
yeah,
that's going to be really important at this stage because now, tomorrow, he could probably be all the way to Zurich or 37 if he needed to.
I think the 49 move makes sense, though. I think it makes more sense now that he has horses, because I mean he could go back to Munich. The time disadvantage was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The tempo.
Yeah, he didn't reveal that when he wanted to only move 1 space.
Yeah, he wanted to check 59 and then he wanted to check 49. He didn't want to move more than 1.
He just let his horses. He just rode on seemingly ordinary speed horses. Dracula didn't know that they were actually quite fast. He held them back.
Yes. Just keeping them at a trot, Well, they're probably scanning. It doesn't really matter what's in 53. I guess if it's a vampire, that could be annoying.
Mob.
It's a mob. Okay, some damage on it, but he'll probably heal that up. It's probably fine. If he's so far out of position, right, he's probably not going to get there. Like, if he can horse to 38, heal to 9, maybe Sewer will roll poorly, and then they'll both be on 38. Then he'll heal for 2. Let's see that scan. It's a big scan.
Yeah. He's in Gallia. Yes. Okay. So we're thinking he's in maybe
15?
9?
I think 15 is more likely. But 15. I could see 9.
Where's 15?
That's, what's it called? Clermont-Ferrand?
Oh. You think he went 24-15?
Well, when he moved to 24, Mina was in Nuremberg. So I think maybe he was just trying to go away from the most hard as possible, which I felt like to me was Spain. Obviously, they've now conglomerated towards Marseille, but once you've moved to 24, I guess he could have moved to Paris instead. I could also see him being in Paris, but I think maybe you move from 51 to 9 to make them think that you're trying to go to Spain. Like, you move to 9 instead of 16, so that, because you know they're going to scan, they're probably going to scan.
I think
you're
right.
kind of like baiting that you're further into
I think
France.
He went from 24 to 15, and now he wants to go to 39, right? And then he's going to go 39. Try to go away by sea, maybe. That's a guess.
Yeah, I mean, no, if he's in 30, it makes sense. He could hide there.
I would want to stay by land as long as possible here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe just slipping into Toulouse or Bordeaux.
He just goes to Bordeaux, because, I mean, there's only 2 hunters here, presumably for a little bit, right? The other 2 are all the way in the east. So you could, like, probably move to Bordeaux, and you're probably fine. I mean, there's 2 hunters there, but what's the chance they both move on to Bordeaux next turn?
Right.
I mean, it's not impossible.
This is where, as Dracula, you almost kind of want to provoke a fight with 1 hunter. Maybe 2, if you have to. Like, you don't want to do 2, but this is where you want, like, Van Helsing to land on you somewhere, and everybody else is out of position and can't get there. Or maybe Mina, right?
Right. I mean, I think that's why Nantes is kind of good, because horses can get there, but the rail connections can't.
Because it's also, you have to consider the despair tokens, right? In a few days, there's going to be 2 despair tokens, and that means Dracula won't be able to escape until round 4.
Moving up to 41 was... So he maybe is thinking along similar lines. He thinks maybe it's also, like, somewhere like 9, or... Because he could have moved down to get towards Spain, but he moved up towards Germany instead. What was that? Was that
Strasbourg.
okay?
Okay.
Was
So
Strasbourg.
that's Zurich, Strasbourg, and then two
Could still be
spaces.
39.
Could have been 16 to 9. Could have been 42 to 39. Could have been to Le Havre.
I could see 39 right now, and I feel like Mina might move to check it, and she has an escape route actually, so she's fine.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is where you want to get people in a fight as Dracula. See, if he'd actually been hiding in Paris right now, that would be great for Dracula, right? Because
Well, yeah, I mean, Mina's got an escape route, right? She can just
okay,
like
no,
jump out of
not
there.
with the escape route. I forgot about the escape route, but I mean, you're trying to provoke a situation where you can kill somebody or escape as a bat.
Right. Get some advantage before everybody shows up.
Right.
I agree.
But yeah, hiding in Paris with all those it revealed right now, and she just escapes anyway, would not be good.
So yeah, he was 100% in 9, right? That's the only France space from 51. So he was in 9 last turn. So did he move to Le Havre, or did he move to like?
Maybe
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
yesterday. Amsterdam. I love a good Amsterdam.
England looks appealing right now for Dracula, but Van
But
Helsing
the siege,
and Mina
they
will
haven't
be there
supplied
in
that
no
much.
time.
There's 50 events left. I mean, they've been moving a lot this game, which, Brad, kudos to them, has made sure no one counters mature, but their supply games have been a little bit off. So I mean, they've only gone through a third of the events. The chance they have CG is not, it's not too crazy. Like, this is a spot where I might be willing to gamble the game and say, if they have CG, I'm dead. But if I play around CG right now, I am giving the game to them, albeit in a slower way.
Right, exactly. That's the issue. Is if you don't do something slightly aggressive, they're just going to continue the way they've been going and just finish off the rest of your encounters and catch you somewhere as you're trying to, like, reset the game in a new area, right? Like if you move 3 C zones or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's something that me and Wakajic, we had a world championship game a while back, and everybody in the commentary was like, why would he go into Italy, right? And I think he did a really good job of explaining it, and he said, like in the comment section of the video, because I think he got a little bit of like, whoa, that makes no sense why to go to Italy, that's super dead if he has CG. I think he said something along the lines of like, if he has CG, I am dead no matter what. But if he doesn't have CG and I move here, that will give me huge advantage in the game. So I need to take a risk now. Like, forestalling the risk and pushing it back does not eliminate the risk. Renewed vigor.
It's funny that you say that, because I actually rewatched that game just yesterday. And I hadn't watched it since it came out, but I rewatched it just yesterday, and I thought everybody was really hard on Wakazik there. They were like, why did he go to Rome? Why did he go to Rome? It seems so crazy. It's like, watching it back now, it's like his only other option was to go to the Ionian Sea and wolf form, which is basically like, exactly like you said.
Ooh.
They're just gonna kill you.
Hope he's not hiding in Amsterdam. Hope he's not hiding in Amsterdam. Oh, he's not. Okay.
As Dracula, you need to get busy killing or get busy dying. Just like Shawshank Redemption. Like, there's no in between. If you're just surviving by moving 3 C zones and the like, yeah, Wakazik knows enough that he knew they were going to catch up to him and win the game if they had CG.
And if I don't have CG there, I mean, I think I only had 200s near him. I think he could have gone away. Like, he could have gone to Bari. Like, he even went to Rome to try to, like, think maybe they'd overshoot me, or he'd catch, like, 100 in Rome.
Right, or provoke an escape as bat, or leave him somewhere to go with a wolf form, or something later.
Ooh.
Move to Bari after. Yeah, it was Cologne.
Is he, like, Hamburg right now?
It was...
Probably Hamburg.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a clever get. Yeah. See, maybe he should have gone to like 30 or something, and then he'd get wolf form back really soon. You know what I mean? Keep moving by land as long as possible.
Well, I didn't know Renewed Vigor was going to come out, right? I think the Renewed Vigor maybe come a little bit less. But I mean, I think that the strategy of like delaying a little bit, right? Not going straight to Cologne to try to like bait the Amsterdam, because they did get 100 the other way, and they might not be able to get like Van Helsing to Hamburg. Like, it's possible with the right events, but it's by no means like a certainty. And Mina's probably gonna be able to get there. I think she can horse and then move normally. From Paris, right? She could go to Cologne and then yeah, she could get there. But it all make, I mean, acting like Van Helsing can't, so it'll probably be a 2-on-1. It's not terrible.
It's not, by no means a bad move for Dracula, and it's just one of those things where when you're in Germany, you have a potential opportunity to lose the hunters within that maze of small and big cities in Germany. The drawback is that if they catch wise to that, they can train virtually anywhere in Germany with the train really easily.
And just the renewed vigor with the horses and the normal movement means they can check so many spaces. It's just
Right, but
kind
if
of
you've
odd.
done something really wacky, like gone to 21, or
Oh
to
yeah,
30,
21. There's no way he's getting discovered today.
like
If he's in 21, I
or
would
if you
check
went to
27.
exactly.
I would check 30.
Sometimes you have to do the really risky, unexpected, weird thing because they're not expecting it because it's unexpected and weird. And
Right,
then,
but sometimes we don't expect it because it's like just not like if he's in 21 right now, his next move is what? It's 41 or 30. I mean, like there's reasons we don't expect these moves, right? I mean, I agree with what you're saying that the unpredictable can be really good, but I think there's also sometimes conventional wisdom is still wisdom, even if it is conventional.
No, agreed. But if he was in 41 tomorrow, and there's, I mean, I think there's 2 renewed vigors. I think there's a second one kicking around.
They've only gone 25 cards deep. There's no way they have both. I mean, okay, it's possible.
But why would he renewed vigor here? Like he was so
because you're gonna get him.
Yeah, but Dracula could have gone to Le Havre or 39 or something. Like nobody checked Brussels.
I mean, he did check. He moved John Stewart to Cologne, right? And if he hasn't gone to Cologne, then you know for sure that he's gone to Le Havre, right?
Okay.
So
I guess that's true.
He could rail from 16 to Le Havre, even if I think
because he wasn't hiding in Amsterdam, so he knew that much. Okay, yeah, maybe you're right.
I think it's an okay renewed vigor. I think it depends. I mean, it depends on how well they're able to capitalize. He did trade with Van Helsing during the day, which he did it before he split. But I guess he knew there was Dragon on top, so it doesn't really matter. But he suited up John Stewart with the events.
Right.
And Mina's gonna be able to get there, barring a bad horse roll. There is 10 tickets in the pool right now. It's
maybe
not
that's a
be
big part of
guaranteed.
it too. Is like, I need to hit this renewed vigor so that I can make sure everybody's supplied enough as well to deal with the trail, which is starting
I don't know.
Get longer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's just like without renewed vigor, there is no plan of attack today, right? Like I think without renewed vigor, there's no way he's gonna be able to jump onto it.
Yeah, maybe it's that he doesn't have the CG. Maybe that's why he played renewed vigor. I gotta hit it Dracula now while
we needed to. We needed to. Oh. I mean, okay, he could wait. He could have a good ticket. He could move to 9 and rail to Hamburg because it's a rail connection. This is still possible.
To have a 3-2. Nobody carries those.
And he'd move on to 9, which is where there's an encounter. There could be a bat under that rumor token on 9, and then think about it. Oh, move Strasbourg instead. Okay, he's just gonna deal with the trail.
It's bad.
Ooh,
that will rob her of her second renewed vigor action.
Yeah, she'll just move immediately via bats.
It's a shame she didn't have a chartered carriage. She could have just gone straight.
Yeah. Well, so, okay, now this is really risky. I mean, obviously, you can't plan for rolling the yellow 1 on the horse. Right, because you roll the yellow 2, and then you can actually get into it. But, I mean, now I feel like Dracula's pretty happy. They've used her renewed vigor.
I mean,
all he has to do is fight Godalming, or not Godalming, Stewart.
She could have even just taken a normal move to 9 and then heroic leap. Okay.
Heroic leap.
I mean,
does he even leave Hamburg though?
Right. If she has a ticket with a white 2 on it, she could have just trained to 16.
Oh, and then you horse from there.
And then you horse to 27, guaranteed.
Maybe he didn't want to step on. I guess he was gonna step on Clone with the horse either way.
And he was, yeah. I mean, you got to go there either way, so you got to risk that.
Is there a world where Dracula feeds here and like fights him? I guess he's John Stewart. He's gonna heal to 6.
Mina's delayed. Godalming will just horse right to you though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
2-on-1 with the 2 good hunters. If Godalming was like,
you know,
I don't know. If he wasn't closer,
he checked 29 or something instead of checking 2.
If he wasn't closer, but yeah. The problem is if you go to sea, Godalming's in Amsterdam. He's gonna follow you by sea. So you're gonna have to go at least 2 C zones.
I don't know if I'd even book Godalming to C. I feel like I might move him to like 29 instead. I feel like losing the especially when your ticket economy is imperfect, losing those night actions is kind of big.
Okay.
And like the telegraphing your movement like that to like let Dracula know, like, because C movement is so telegraphed.
That's true.
I really dislike C movement unless you are like I don't like following Dracula like that, if that makes sense. I'd rather be on land and then be more like centrally located and then go to sea after I know that he's landed.
The only time is like when Dracula leaves the Ionian and you're right there in Athens or Salonika.
Right, if you have no better way to move.
He's almost certainly going into the Turanian, especially if Black Sea is already on the trail and you know he's going Turanian, Adriatic. Yeah, sometimes doing that can be fun.
Tough for Dracula here.
Yeah, I mean, if Dracula, let's say Dracula goes to sea, yeah, you can keep Godalming there to supply, and then if Dracula lands, now Godalming can move to 19 by excellent weather, or he can even get there the old-fashioned way, and he might still catch up to Dracula.
Yeah, Seward didn't heal, actually. He stayed at 4. Is Dracula moving by land? What? What's going on right now?
Oh, he is. He is moving by land.
Ah, so 30 or 7.
I bet.
And he gets Wolfhorn back next turn. There's some risk to this, though. By moving off of that port, there are no more ports. I mean, I guess he can Wolfhorn to Amsterdam if Godalming moves off of it, which he probably will. But I kind of like this because Seward's at 4. He's not going to want to move on to you and a new encounter. Seward is probably just going to like stay and heal or supply or something. Yeah, I don't know. What did Blazin ticket instead of healing with Seward? Is that what he did? He probably ticketed because he wanted to make his horse economy better.
He must have.
I could see that. I mean, the horse, you did just get kind of screwed by the horse economy, so I see you wanting to make it because there's no more heroic leap, right? Now you're going to need to get more than one person there in the future. But I feel like that was a little bit greedy. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not greedy. Maybe this horse economy needs the help.
Maybe he should have just been taking trains, you know? At a certain point, like.
You got all 3 horses, right? Are you going to take trains when you have all 3 horses?
It's not cooperating with him. He keeps pulling out the 1/1s.
Oh, he's got a stake.
Staked.
He's daytime staking the vampire. I guess if he heals at night, it doesn't really matter.
Well, here's the thing: is like when you're in a place like 27, when you're in a place like 16,
here we go.
When you're in a place like 42, okay, those are the times when you can. If you're holding one of the quote-unquote good tickets, like the yellow 2s, it's actually kind of okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a tricky subject, because I get that it's making the horse economy worse. But, alright, let's say you have a horse, and you have a white 1 ticket, and you have a 3-2 ticket. Well, then when your turn comes around, you can choose between gambling on the fast horses giving you a good result, or just taking that efficient train, right? You have a choice in the matter now.
Yeah.
You don't have to just hope that it comes up 2, and then end up rolling a 1 again and again because you're having some bad luck.
I agree that there are. I mean, I will definitely keep. I'm not an extremist where I'm like never keep tickets. I think that like especially on like fan like whoever doesn't have a horse, they can have 1 good ticket, and I think I can, or they can have like 1 3-2, and especially if they're somewhere like Marseille where that's really good for them, you know, they get all the way to 48 or something. I understand that, or if like you're in a position where you really need it, like you're in 17 and that 2 yellow is going to get you all the way to 6 again, right? Use the tickets there. I agree. You should never completely say you will never do something, because I feel like that you're only limiting yourself.
Like, would I rather have a 65 or 70% chance that the horses get me there, and I'm also carrying a fine ticket that could come in handy? Like, again, you gotta look at where you are in the map. But would you rather that like 65, 75% chance with a good ticket on you, or would you rather 85 to 100% chance but you have to take the horses.
Do you think he will form today? Does he have to will form today? Because the will form to 30 is not amazing. If he could somehow get to like 41 and will form for 41, it would be incredible. I don't know if they're gonna let him get away with that though. Yeah, okay. I think this is the safe move. Because now he could have gone back to Amsterdam, right? You kind of want to check Amsterdam, but if you check Amsterdam and he's not there, well, then you're moving in the opposite direction again.
Well, all you have to really do is check 30. Because if he went to Berlin, then he couldn't be in Amsterdam.
I guess as
He's
hunters
just
here, I
big
think I'm
Amsterdam
operating under the
fan.
assumption he didn't know. I think there's no way he went to Berlin because yes, he wants to keep Amsterdam open, but not because I'm an Amsterdam fan, because it's the only port that he can get to, wolf forming from either of those two spots that isn't covered. And I think and I understand that Godalming was in Amsterdam when he moved, but I think that it is fairly safe to assume that Godalming will not stay on Amsterdam and he will chase after you.
I think what Dracula did was he went to Leipzig, and then afterwards he wolf formed to Zurich. Okay.
Oh,
I'm totally right.
Wow, you're right. You're totally right.
Oh,
wow, I thought for
I
sure
was
he went
right
there.
ahead of time. He went to Berlin, I guess, and then he went maybe to Nuremberg, maybe to Frankfurt, maybe to 58.
I mean, I think he went to Vienna.
58's probably where he went.
Because, I mean, I feel like Frankfurt is kind of bad. I guess Frankfurt is, like you said, no one checks Frankfurt, so it's safe. But,
no one ever
I mean, I kind of like this movement. They're all still moving. They're not supplying.
Frankfurt's like the least trafficked space on the entire board, I would wager. That and maybe Granada.
I don't know if I'd rumor token a hoax. I guess he did it to get pressure off of him, like make them start looking at that rather than looking at him. But I don't want to incentivize him to go after my hoax.
Sort of like a desperation rumor token, right? Just leave me alone. Go deal with the rumor. You have to. You have no choice.
And somebody's got to go back to Cologne, and he's going to get another draw and discard off of it because Godalming doesn't have a Heavenly Host, apparently. We're seeing the lack of supplying here. I don't think they've gone through their deck a single time. Godalming is still carrying dogs. Godalming is carrying, but the man who gets twice as many item supplies, he kept the dogs, I assume, to deal with stuff in the east, and he has just been moving since then. He has not taken a single moment.
He gave all the good stuff to Seward. And you're right, when he checked the aristocratic, he didn't reveal a stake or anything, so it's not like he lost the stake and then resupplied and got dogs. He's had the dogs since the beginning. But he also did kill some rats with them, so that was pretty cool.
Well, and now the hunters are standing still and supplying. And I think, honestly, I think that's a good move here. I think you gotta it's letting Dracula get away, but he's not really getting that far because he was at 7, right? So the worst he's doing right now is he's moving from 41 to, like, 60, which is still well within strike range. And then if you're supplying, maybe you draw, like, an information event that will tell you where he moved, and you're getting yourself towards the second renewed vigor, and you're getting yourself towards all the other good... I like it. I like this approach. I think that
slow and steady,
chasing after him blindly is not a great idea. It's like just checking spaces is not a great idea.
Yeah, so slow and steady will do it here. Just knock
especially
out,
after 30. 30's not
clear
there.
up Cologne so he doesn't get any healing. Get Seward healed back up from that heroic leap. Knock out Berlin and wherever he will form to. And pretty soon you'll just keep putting one foot in front of the other and you'll be right on top of him and he'll have his back to the ocean.
Yeah, the downside of supplying and letting him quote-unquote get away is that you're letting him move away, but because he took the kind of sneaky route of going to 7, his options of, like, egress are a little more limited, and they're a little bit slower. So I think you do have the time to, like, because today he's moving to, the furthest he can't get to a port today, right? Port movement, impossible. The furthest he can get is, like, 59 or 60, both of which are right next to Mina. Anything else is, like, 50, he could get to 51, I suppose, theoretically. He could have wolf formed to, I can't have gone to 16 because Godalming was there. So yeah, he could be 51, 60, or 59 after today's movement, all of which are still, like, next to at least 100. So I think that just supplying last turn and, like, recouping, like you said, resupplying, is the right call. I think moving blindly, like, you could run 100 into him and that would be pretty bad. Oh. Search
either that or Jonathan Harker discover where he is right now and you just alpha strike him with the second renewed vigor. Is that what's gonna happen?
no renewed vigor, but I think checking Vienna is really smart. I think Vienna is the most likely, and I think that like just being able to make sure that's the case.
Great check.
It's pretty nice.
Because we know he left from Berlin, and Vienna's clearly the quote-unquote safest spot at that point.
It's the only way you can move from Berlin that is actually faster than moving from 30. Because
and see with the right train tickets, you could go from Berlin to 58, or
True. Okay, Van Helsing is just gonna be he probably has that. I mean, you don't ambush him, right? Make him search it, or maybe you want. I guess it's fine. He gets one more night action. You probably want him to search that, just to take away the night action, but it's okay.
Yeah, no.
He gets more time to think about his new encounter cards.
He only moved there because he wanted to search it, right?
Yeah. 2. Oh, Dracula is not discarding the maximum amount. Hold on. Does Dracula have more? Dracula now has 6 cards in hand. Interesting.
Maybe he likes them.
That suggests, yeah, he has good cards. I am of the mind that I will always cycle because I want to cycle back to whatever I've used. Like, I want that Hoke Fog. I want that Fog back in my deck. But I do think that maybe that mindset doesn't always work. Because you're cycling back the Fog, but you're also cycling back all the trash things you've been getting rid of the whole game.
Agreed. I mean, the conventional wisdom I usually also follow, like ditch every card that you have, ditch maximum so you can cycle as fast as possible. I tend to do that and agree with that like 97% of the time. But every now and again, I mean, you're just giving up good cards in hopes that later you'll have great cards.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it feels pretty bad to discard like a bodyguard
these
and
are
draw
good
rat.
cards. Like, I need these to save me later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need this Saboteur to put down and move away from it, and then they'll find it and search it and lose a day. Things like I'm gonna need this aristocratic even.
Hey, Nina wants this vampire dead. She's not trying to leave, or she thought there maybe be a Fangs one to deny the point.
Yeah, it could be the old tricky turn 1 dodge. That way, if you could bait the Mesmerize or the Fangs, and then escape the next turn.
I'm excited for the turn 1 dodge becomes the meta, so recklesses start plotting, and then I'm excited to see the meta adapt, because I think that the dodge turn 1 is actually, I kind of like it.
The pistol will be the best weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll just start fanging again.
I'd like to see a Fang here from this vampire.
Ooh! The knife! Okay.
Interesting.
You can plot, but it's gonna cost you 3 blood, so pay up.
It's kind of okay. I mean, he's almost guaranteed to now get off a Fang at some point with this plotting. I mean, not quite guaranteed, but like he plays a Fang. Mina would need another counter Fang item.
Yeah, you gotta watch out here because he's probably gonna if he has the Fang or he has the strength, he's gonna get the other one, right? And then he wants to put strength when he thinks the knife's coming, but.
Do you just throw down the issue right now is if you just throw down the Fangs and she does have like double knife, it's pretty bad. All the value is gone. On the other hand, if you don't play Fangs this turn, then Mina will have the knife back to play, and then maybe your Fangs won't go off.
Right.
I think I respect that. I think that's what I would do.
For it.
Ooh, okay.
Sneaky.
That's fair. Yep, she had double knife. What are you gonna do about it?
She's like the Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. She's like the Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Beautiful 6-pack abs. Oh yeah, you just can't see it.
She's some kind of whirling dervish.
Mm-hmm. The issue here for Dracula, I will admit that so far, right, Dracula is not in like immediate danger right now, but he has no points. The hunters are on his tail. How his path to victory here is probably like being in the east, like I don't know, fighting and killing one of them maybe, or more likely just running and like going to sea and maybe like moving for a while in Spain or something. But the problem with doing that is they get to supply and they're probably going to draw a CG in that time if they don't already have it. And Seward definitely has a weapon, right? He's got to have a weapon. Okay, good. Yeah. Good job not ambushing on that one though. Let him search it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you're in a tough spot as Dracula. If you're in 59 right now, I guess you have to try to like do some kind of dance to avoid them, because if you just go straight to 49, Godalming and Mina are both going to catch you. And then you're in a world of hurt, because he only has like 7 or 8 health.
He does have a second fog that he hasn't used yet. And if I was him, I'd be keen to throw that down soon so that when the deck reshuffles, I can get it back. But the issue is there's no ports here, right? A fog is going to be limited use. It'll avoid one fight, but then he'll have to move again. Although if he's in 49 and he fogs in 49, he could go to 50, he could go to 55. Like, if they don't have Renewed Vigor, I don't know if they can get both of them on him necessarily.
Maybe he's in 11 and he can move to 28 here.
Yeah. Look at the castle a little bit. I think that is a losing strategy, going to the castle right now.
I don't know that he should go to the castle, but...
Like going like to 28 to go to 10, maybe? Because 10's a layer, ain't it? Yeah, 10's a layer.
With a rumor token on it. And
yeah.
counter.
Maybe you go there and throw down a real vampire.
Sagat,
I mean, it's probably garbage, though. Unfortunately, Bucharest is probably garbage. Although he's kept it around this whole time. And I don't know if he hasn't made a third layer. So maybe these layers are real. Like, they have real things in them. And he was planning to go back, maybe.
It's totally possible.
Okay, he's rolling the yellow 2 when he wants it. He's definitely checking 49, right?
Yeah,
maybe he checked 11.
If you're wrong, it's fine because you're south of Dracula and you're hemming him in to the north.
Mm-hmm.
And if he actually is like hiding in 11, or he went to, well, I mean, he would have to be hiding in 11 because 53 is a lair. So if he is like hiding in 11, let's say, and he wants to do something sneaky, he really can't.
John Stewart is not even rolling his horses right now. He's just moving.
Just move regular. Interesting.
Why?
Because Dracula could have gone there.
Makes
a lot of
you're
sense.
right.
Dracula could have gone 58, 44, and then to Nuremberg.
Yeah, he could be in 41 right now. Oh, that would be devious.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they'd find out today, right? Because Mia's probably going to check 11. But, I mean, then at that point you're at 41, you can go to 60.
No, we know at this point that...
Yeah, he didn't do that now. I'm just saying, like, it probably gets found out one way or the other today. Right, but if you find out late today, right, and then he can go to 60 before they're really moving after him, quite nice. Maybe that's why he thought so hard before moving Godalming to 49, was because if he did go back, then 49 is kind of out of the way. But I think that's still the right move to do. Discarding a Heavenly Host on Van Helsing.
Interesting.
Is that 2 discarded now? Yeah, it's 2. Yeah, so CG is not even that big of a concern, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
if anything, he's telegraphing that he doesn't have it. But watch out going down that road as Dracula, because he doesn't have it, I'll be just fine. And then he puts down the single token and then 1 Heavenly Host, and it's enough to cook you.
Why are you at 59?
To see if Dracula went there.
Is he afraid that Dracula's gonna move back to 59, like today? Like, I'm a little bit confused, right? Because Godalming was in Munich, right? So if he went from 58 to 59, the only way he's still in 59 is if he hid there. I suppose he could have moved from 59 to 53 to be tricky, right? Instead of going to 11, because maybe he doesn't check 11.
53's a lair.
Oh.
He could have gone 59, 11. But he didn't. He went 58, 11.
I don't think you can go 59, 11 here. I feel like that's too slow. I feel like you got to make distance. Like, you need to run for a port, is my opinion.
I get
you
your
need to
point.
get out of here.
With Godalming checking 49, the likelihood that Dracula went to 59 drastically decreases. Yes.
Because it's just strictly slower.
Yeah. He went 58, 11, and then from 11, he actually went to 28 or hid, because he...
I hope he went to 28 if he hid there.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to hide.
I mean, if he could move to Bucharest today, if he had a real vampire in there, and he puts a second real vampire in there...
Yeah, he could move to 10 right now, and potentially be in a place of power.
Bluff that, maybe, and then go to 17 and put a fog down,
and then... doesn't have a chartered carriage.
We've already seen one surprising return, right? We've seen at least one. And Rufus is in the discard, but there's a chance they don't have the other one, and then they can't even get Rufus back? Wait, has there been a surprising return? No, he used the ally effect. There was no surprising return. Wait, wasn't there? Didn't they search...
No, there was a surprising return.
I don't see it in the discard pile.
He used it to search Vienna. He used...
That's what I thought. I don't see it.
It was Jonathan Harker. I don't know why it's not there.
It's face down.
Agree. It's not. It might just be a bug, but
I feel like I remember seeing
it's probably the face down one, and it's a bug.
Okay.
if I had to guess. Because yes, can confirm, commentator was actually paying attention for once, and
There was a
he
surprising
did
return. Yeah.
surprising return to check Vienna.
So I feel
Now
like I
the
said it was a
layers are
good move or
being
something.
upgraded.
Yeah. Oh.
Does that mean he's
But he
going
didn't-
from 28
wait.
to 53?
It could be because it hasn't slid yet. I don't know what the interface says. Maybe he's clearing 10, so that he makes it on
he can
option.
adjust his layers before he slides the trail.
If he's clearing 10, I like that a little bit less. Because I think it's pretty obvious he went to 28 now. Like, I feel like revealing that you're in Bucharest does not give them that much information.
Right. They kind of already know at this point, but maybe he's going castle.
I really don't like. I feel like Castle's
He's
really
probably
slow.
thinking, I'll go to castle, I'll go to 22, and then I'll go to 10. But unfortunately, we veterans have played this game enough times to know that Dracula's not going to have enough time to get away with that.
Because his wolf form's not back, right? And the movement out of Castle is so constricted for a reason, obviously, because 5 health is so powerful.
Yeah, it's not
but-
exactly on the way to anything.
Oh?
Okay,
Yeah,
now
okay. So he
castle.
cleared his layers. So he cleared Bucharest, so it is now...
He in theory
an
could
option.
be in 53 or 10 or 22 or even 6.
6. Yeah.
So by doing that,
Maybe there's
he
some
created,
reasoning here,
he
actually.
created-
Yeah.
I'll say this: he created some more obfuscation, and it wasn't an insignificant amount. So
I mean, you're going to check 10, obviously.
That
But if he's
could-
not in 10...
that could
what do you check
potentially
next?
create some obfuscation and help.
Because I kind of like moving to 6 here, because 6 gets you just as close to the southern ports as 10 does. 10 obviously moves you to 17 next turn, which is ideal, but I feel like 10's going to get checked first because of that. I feel like it only moves to 10 here. What is he going to do if he's not moving to 10? He's going to move to what? Sophie? No, he's moving to 10. Maybe he'll move to 28 to make sure he actually went to 28, but...
I think it'd be pretty bold
I mean-
to move to 6, because you gotta hope that Godalming's gonna roll a 2 and move 2.
Well, he'll probably move to Sophie. Oh! Playing it slow. Okay.
Yeah, he's taking his time to try to make a chokehold. He's trying to tighten the noose slowly around the count.
I
Okay,
feel
there's
like I
11.
want to just go to 10 immediately, but... Because if he's in 10, he can get to a port next turn. And I think him getting to a port is my, like... It's bad for
Yeah,
hunters.
but the
They need to
Black
get him before he gets
Sea,
to sea.
with 8 health, the Black Sea is really unappealing. He's going to go down to 6, 5, and then 4, just to get anywhere.
You know, something Magic has taught me, Gyro, life's a resource, okay? And if I win the game at 3 health, or if I win the game at 15, still, it's a win's a win.
Right,
A win is a
right,
win
but
is a
with
win.
with the influence at 0, I mean, it's going to be tough to avoid their last push, their last efforts to catch you. You know, their Hail Mary.
I
pass.
agree, but I think that if he doesn't go to Black Sea, there's no way he's getting to Ionian or Adriatic in
Yeah,
this economy.
that's
his
the
wolf form is
other
too
coin.
far.
In this economy.
In this Dracula economy, with the wolf form so early on the trail, you know, I don't think he's gonna get it back in
You
time.
seen the
Oh,
price-
he's gonna scan.
You seen the price of a coachman these days? Dracula's
Why is
driving
he
the thing
scanning?
himself.
Oh, if he scans, I guess he figures out whether it's 53 or it cuts the options in half.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like I really hope he's in 10. I was thinking he shouldn't be in 10 because they check it, but now that they haven't checked it, please be in 10. Just go to 17. You have your second fog right now because you've gone through your entire deck. Just throw down that fog, windmill slam it. Hope that they don't have go double forewarned.
Windmill slam it.
That's what it's called when you draw a card and you immediately play it, because it's like going up and then going down. It's the windmill slam.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, put the fog down in 17, ditch him, get to the Black Sea. He's
Oh,
not in
no.
Baltica, so he's in 6 or
Oh
53.
no.
Okay. I agree that 6 would have been... 6 was clever because he was anticipating aggression. He was anticipating...
I
them
really
to go
thought they would check
straight
10.
in to
I would have
10
checked
and
10 there.
28.
I would have ran into it.
Right. And then from there, he would have some options, maybe. But since Fangs took the slow route and scanned...
I mean, maybe
Now
this
he
is okay. He can
knows.
move to 49. If he fogs 49, he can maybe get to 55. The issue is he only has one fog, right?
Don't forget,
This is only
he could also have been in 53, and now he's moving.
to 59. Okay, there's a lot of mystery here, but as soon as they start like checking the spots, they're gonna narrow it. Like you check 6, you'd probably check 6 with Godalming, right? If you check 6 with Godalming and he wasn't in 6, you know he's in 59 right now, right? I mean, there's a lot of mystery right now, but I feel like it is not going to take them that long to figure it out. Granted, by moving on to his earlier trail spaces to figure out where he is now, he might like get away. He might not get found today. The issue is I don't know if he can like. He's not in a port right now, right? I don't know if he'll be able to get away from the situation. I feel like they're going to get him tomorrow probably.
Maybe he's hiding in 28. That's why they picked him up.
No.
With Psychic Bond.
No, he's not hiding. Look, he moved it to 28
And
2 moves ago.
Now he's.
What do you mean he's hiding in 28?
22.
Playing the Omega hide where he hides there for 2 turns. Yeah.
No. I meant when they psychic bonded, he had only moved 2 spaces. Now he's moved to 3rd space. So by now he would be in like 22, 53, or 6. Or
well, no,
10.
because there's too many spaces. Oh no, I suppose you're right. Actually, I didn't think about
He's
that.
adjacent to
that's a
Godalming
good
and Mina,
pull.
so that could be 10. That could be 49.
I feel like it's 49, but maybe he moved back to 10 because 10 also gets him to a port. So 49 are they both going to a port. That was a good use of Speed Telegraph though to get that supply before, because you're going to spawn no matter what there, right? So
Yeah,
do that
with
before you
Van
move because you can
Helsing.
draw the info events.
Right. Yeah. Could have been hired scouts. The evil presence. We'll take it.
There's a bunch of hired scouts left actually. I think we have 3 of those in the deck. We got a bunch of like we had all 4 proximity. Now obviously only 3, but there's a lot of good draws there for him. Oh wait, he can't. Oh wait, no, he can be in Bucharest. I mistook Budapest for Bucharest for a second, but no, he could totally be in Bucharest.
Yeah. 28.
Okay.
22. 10.
I like moving Seward first. Probably check 49 with Seward because he can't get to Bucharest. I guess he could get to Bucharest actually, but check 49 because he's close to it. Make sure he's not doing
49 would be like he's getting ready to go to 59 and Wolf, or 55 and go to C. So yeah, it might be worth checking that. And then Godalming and Mina can deal with 17.
with Bucharest.
Well, they
Because
can
if
go
it's
to
at 49, they can get everybody there. I guess the odd option is he's actually somehow in 59 right now because he went to 53 and then he went to 59. Because it did seem odd when he cleared all of his layers. I thought that was kind of odd. Like, why would you clear Szeged? But I mean,
it
it
created
leaves
a
open
lot of
the possibility.
obfuscation. No, I
Okay,
like
he's
it.
checking Bucharest. Checking Bucharest.
And it's there.
Oh, he's dead.
If only
Unless
he
he got
was in
fogged.
59, that'd have been so crazy.
Oh?
Fog?
Oh, not today, but probably tomorrow. Yeah. Needed one more day. Man. Or he needed a second fog, but he can't have a second fog. I guess he could theoretically draw it off of a layer. Because he has how many cards in hand? He can put something down in a layer and then immediately draw the fog. And then it would be a windmill slam, because he would slam it down halfway through it. Oh, he's gonna cover 17?
Yeah,
I think I like that,
That's
yeah.
a very solid play. I agree with that.
Oh, Mina's just gonna chill.
Don't-
Draw.
Don't let him go to Sophia. Now,
Do you
it's
fight
Dracula, you
Seward
take
here?
the fight. You take
I
the
think you
fight.
do.
Yeah, you got to.
He doesn't. Okay.
It's your only chance.
Look, it's risky. And I love taking Dracula fights. I think maybe I take more fights than I should be taking in Fog, but I think here you gotta like escape a spat or something. You know?
It's super risky, but you have to. Like you.
Oh, and there's no Agatha. You
have
could
to.
even heal off of that fight. Like, it's theoretically possible. There's only one Heavenly Host, so the surprise, like, damage factor is not that high. You know he's got a rifle and a horse. He only has 2 other items, right? We have most of the item pile in the discard right now, if we look. It's possible he has a knife, I
escaped in
suppose.
round 4, so, like, you mesmerize.
All 3
you
holy bullets are gone.
Maybe
So holy
get
bullets.
a plotting off if he tries to dodge.
There's
And
options
then
if you
you
fight
got
him.
a chance, right? There's a
Yeah.
hope, but without taking the fight, like there's very little hope.
I think this is the slow death, right? This is the putting off of the risk, but not eliminating it. You know, like
just kicking the can down the road.
Because now what? He's gonna misdirect 28 to fake that he can move. I mean, like, it's just kind of sad.
Well, I mean, he's played okay, but it's
Well,
it's
okay,
always,
well,
it's
right,
always
I mean,
unfortunate
anyone,
to watch
if-
this happen to Dracula.
Like, anyone in this spot is gonna be screwed. Like, if I was here, it's not like I have some hat. I'm gonna pull out of a hat, right? It's not like he is sad because of
I
what he's about to do right now. It's the situation is sad, right? Dracula doesn't have very many good options.
You hate to see it. I agree.
Unless he draws the fog right now. and then he can wolf form. He like moves to 6.
Fog and
He
wolf
draws
out.
fog. Then he can wolf form to get to either 46, 55, 56, or 17 because Godalming will move on to him to check 6. Oh my god, it would be so good. It would be so awesome if he had a second fog right now.
Well, there's no renewed vigor here.
I don't think they have
If
it.
they had a renewed vigor, they'd have played it almost.
Oh yeah, they would.
certainly.
I don't think they have it. So he's gonna check. Oh,
Not 22.
okay, checking. Hold
So
on.
now Seward can check 6.
If Seward doesn't have forewarned, so if there is a fog in 6, you could fog him. Look, I'm a conspiracy theorist. There's no way there's actually a fog in 6.
No, good. I mean, but even a fog in a wolf form, you don't have any points.
Come on,
You got
Skybreaker.
discretion
It's
points.
so unlikely.
It's fog! Windmill slam,
Oh
ladies
my
and gentlemen.
god! He's the luckiest. He drew out of 19 cards. He immediately drew, or 18 cards. He immediately drew the second fog. Oh my god,
goodness.
he's a legend.
I wonder if Fangs of Fire has also picked up on that. He's pretty good card counter.
Oh my god! And now we can wolf form to
Mhm.
4 different ports. Oh my god!
There's hope.
What's going on right now?
There's a chance.
Oh my god, Skybreaker is a genius! He planned for this. Okay. No, obviously he had some good luck by drawing the fog, but I think that moving to 6 is also the best way to use it here, right?
Yeah.
It's better than moving to 22 because it
Oh, yeah.
opens up all the ports. It even opens up an overland route,
The
theoretically.
heck with the ports.
know.
I think you
I don't like Van
can't go to
Helsing.
Munich
Yeah.
because he's there. Yeah. I was gonna say you could go pick on Van Helsing, get him in a fight, escape as a bat.
Well, and now there's a rumor token in Budapest that like is suddenly relevant because now if they get the 7-point vampire that like lowers the amount of spaces you need to move. It's like, oh my god, that second fog, the windmill slam fog. This game is now blown wide open. I mean, it's not a Dracula win guaranteed. Okay, that's bad wrong.
No.
Okay.
This is still very much in the balance, but Dracula may have been able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, it's a lot more 50-50. It looks a lot more 50-50 now than it did last turn.
Yeah,
Last turn I was like 99% Hunter victory. He needs to draw the fog. He's probably not going to do it. It's so unlikely, and then he drew it. Of course he did.
He extricated
Oh.
himself from a very sticky situation.
And obviously he doesn't take the fight in 10 because he knows he's going to draw the fog. So I mean, like, he didn't want to risk his life. It makes perfect sense now.
He knew.
Why he didn't take that
knew
fight. He knew
that it was all or nothing on the fog.
he could feel it in his bones. You know, because if he lost a couple of health in that fight, like if he's at 5 health right now, I feel like its position is so much more precarious because he will forms to 4, then he can't move 3 C spaces.
Right,
But at
he doesn't
8,
have the resources to move
that's
by C.
enough. You know, he could even like if they only managed to get one person on him, he could even fight him a little bit and lose like 2 to 3 health, and it would be okay.
It all depends
Wow.
on where he wolf forms to here and where Fangs of Fire decides to check.
It's also interesting that he didn't move Godalming to check 6, like, because Godalming probably has a forewarned. I mean, it's not 100%, but I think that checking 22 with Godalming was maybe like a slight error. Obviously, 99% of the time it wouldn't matter because you'd get him anyway, but if he does have a forewarned on Godalming, which he keeps trading back and forth with Van Helsing and Godalming, if you check 6 with Godalming, this whole thing doesn't matter. Unless, of course, he saves it because he wants to use it when John Stewart moves in because of the new way that it works.
You know, it would be
but-
so sly as Dracula
What?
here. You just
Mhm.
wolf form to 53, right?
Oh my god.
And then tomorrow you just walk onto 11 because it'll be off the trail by then, one way or the other. You just gotta hope a hunter doesn't move onto it because if Dr. Seward decides to move there and stake the vampire, well then I guess Dracula could move to like 59 at that point, right?
The issue, like, I agree that there's some funny, like, delaying tactic you do, but the problem is that there's so much time he has to survive, right? He's still got to survive, like, 4 more days. I think if he does that, they'll obviously all search the ports today, but I think that when they realize the ports are empty, they will all immediately turn their gaze towards Austria-Hungary, right? And I think that they'll be able to find him before he gets away, just because it's so congested. So I think the port move is obvious, but I think the obvious port, like, I think that with your idea of, or I shouldn't say your idea, but the idea of going to Austria-Hungary will certainly keep you alive tomorrow. I don't know if it will make you, I don't know if it's like leading towards a game win.
My problem,
makes sense.
yeah, my only problem is like, let's say Dracula goes to 46, right?
Mhm.
And then Saturday night he goes to C,
Actually, no. I guess if he goes to 46, that would be really good for him because from 46 you go to sea on Saturday. Sunday night you go to the Turanian, and by Monday you can land in Cagliari or somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And score points.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't want to do is go to 56 because then it would be Saturday night Black Sea, Sunday night Ionian, and Monday night you would have to move by sea again. You don't want to have.
I'm worried that Van Helsing has sense of emergency and he's going to check 55. I feel like in my head, what I would do is I would go to either 56 or 46 because Godalming is going to check 17. Van Helsing, I think, has sense of emergency and is probably going to check 55. So I feel like 56 or 46. I want to be where Mina's going to check. That's what I'm trying to game out is where is Mina going to check? And I think the answer is either 56 or 46.
Yeah, but how do you win from there? I mean, 3 spaces.
Well, you have to fight
of sea
Mina.
Travel followed by.
Oh, okay. He's going to. Oh, actually, so this is better. Maybe you do go. Oh, I feel like you probably didn't go to 17 though. So I wouldn't have gone to 17. I would have assumed that Godalming was going to check it. Risky.
Mm.
Does Godalming have a stake? Is there stakes left to have? One,
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to deal with this. He didn't ambush.
There is
so
one
maybe
stake left.
it's-
There's one
maybe
stake
it's not
left.
a
I mean,
fighter.
it's the second. It's another bats. Oh, have we seen both bats actually? Maybe we've seen both. I think we've seen both bats.
Could be rumored bats. I mean, they
Rumored
were
Savager.
really on Dracula's case, so it kind of makes sense that he would apply like a get off me rumor token. Like that.
He's also got a few fighter vampires, right? We've seen like one reckless or 2 recklesses, and I think that's it. Fighter vampire wise, right? So we had like 3 fighter vampires. I would not be surprised if it's littered with Austria-Hungary.
Yeah.
This is the
He's
big.
all over
Where
the
is he
shop.
checking with Seward? Where is he checking with Seward? That's the big question. I feel like it's 46. I feel like Van Helsing definitely has sense of emergency. Or he traded it off of Godalming to give himself sense of emergency.
I think I'd probably want to check 46.
Yeah, 46 makes a lot of sense. Okay.
There he is.
No! Our hero!
Our hero Dracula. Oh no.
Man, he drew the fog, man. I mean, good job on Blazing.
Too bad he couldn't get a third fog. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's why you gotta throw down the fog early, you know? So you can be doubly lucky and draw both of them back to back. Yeah. So this is probably Dracula dead, probably. Not 100%. It's only gonna be a 2-on-1 actually, so I suppose, and there's no Agatha, so it's not like curtains, and we know Mina has double knife, and Dracula knows Mina has double knife, so I mean, you know, the only question here is what does Seward have? And I think it's probably Heavenly Host. Ooh, I like that for Dracula. I like that. That means that he has one less item, and he can't use it in the Dracula fight to guarantee no escape as bat. But obviously, congrats to Fangs of Fire. You mind gamed him. You figured out where he moved with your first possible guess. Because he could have gone to any of the 4 spaces, and you could have moved Seward to any of the 4 spaces. So, obviously, well played. He played well to put himself in this position.
Agreed. And you know, as I said, 46 is way more appealing than 56 because of the way the math works out.
Yeah.
With the movement and the Fury of Dracula kicking in on Monday. You don't want to be moving to the Turanian Sea on Monday night. You're prolonging the game for Dracula.
Okay, so Mina's gonna escape route this. The question is, do they have like planned ambushes? Because if they don't have planned ambushes, I think maybe Dracula can squeak his way out of this. Maybe.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Maybe.
But if they have some events that could seal the deal.
She's got a blood transfusion, but she could also have planned ambush. Not preventing the combat, playing anything before the combat.
Planned ambush.
Yep, Seward's got a
I
planned
think
ambush.
planned
Okay.
ambush might be one of the better cards. Like, like maybe a slight bit underrated because when you have a 2-on-1 and somebody has a planned ambush, it's just so much better. It's like a 2-on-1 and a half.
Here's the problem, right? I think Seward is the one person who actually has a wait, hold on. No, he doesn't have a Heavenly Host. Van Helsing had a Heavenly Host. So you know Seward doesn't have a Heavenly Host. And if he doesn't have a Heavenly Host, then you just strengthen him and he can't do anything.
Yeah, you just have to.
And
fear his
maybe he
weapon.
like dodged with Mina because he thought that he would target Mina because Seward had planned ambush. Like there are some. If Fangs Fire, I think Fangs Fire should just throw everything at Dracula. I don't think he tried to get fancy, but if he tries to get fancy and like dodge on Mina or something, there are outs here. Oh, let's see his strength. See his strength.
I say you just go double knight.
Oh, we know he doesn't have it. I guess we know he doesn't have Heavenly Host Skybreaker. I think Skybreaker doesn't know it. It's a little bit like we're thinking about a Desecrated Soil that happened like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it was a
That
while
feels
back.
pretty
Tough
and
to
then like the
remember
fact there's 2 of
everything.
them in the Discord pile, yeah.
But that's part of the fun to me. Like, yeah, you can write down notes, and especially in a competitive tournament environment, I would never give anybody a hard time for writing notes or keeping track of things like that. But to me, I also feel like that's part of the fun and the skill and part of the gameplay is being like, oh, where was Dracula when we used hypnosis 2 nights ago? Like, which spot was he at? You got to remember, and you got to remember. Did Van Helsing reveal a knife, or was it a rifle? I forget. Like, that's part of the fun to me. Trying
Does Seward have the second knife?
exercise your brain
Or
and
the
prove
third,
how
I should
big
say.
of a supervillain you are.
No, he does not.
I
Okay,
will-
so that's the rifle we knew we had. Wait, actually, he's out of items. He had a rifle, a holy circle, a crucifix, and a horse. So Seward doesn't have any more weapons.
You
The
just
issue
don't
is that
play
Mina does.
crucifix or punch.
Right, he's gonna play punch. If he doesn't play punch, he's throwing. So he's gonna play punch. Because if he plays punch, it's a guaranteed kill. But oh man, because he only has a rifle, I think this fight is actually like if he doesn't fang on the crucifix, like he strengths Seward and Seward dodges, he takes 1 damage from Mina that turn. Like if he's at 4 health here instead of 1, I think there are outs because Seward can only deal 1 or 2 damage every other round.
You can escape his bat against Seward after you see the rifle. Yeah, there's
Right.
potential options.
It's unfortunate. I mean, obviously with Plan Ambush, he was never gonna get like anything broken, but that 3 damage was really.
Ooh, crucifix.
What? Oh, you should have punched there. It's fine. Wait, he can escape. He escapes this turn.
He can't, because Seward
Yeah.
will play his rifle.
No, Mina's knife's broken. She only had 1 knife. She just played it. He gets away today if he has escaped his bat. Oh my! Why didn't he punch with Seward? He could have punched with Seward and killed him there for sure. I guess he thought he would. Oh wow.
Thought he might get fanged for his troubles.
Yeah. Wow. But if he has escaped his bat, which it's round 4, it's kind of likely he has it. Oh wait, why is he playing there?
Why
No,
against
he has a
Seward?
rifle. No. Oh, he
escape
escaped.
his
Oh.
miss doesn't help you here.
No, you need the bat. Maybe he doesn't have it.
Maybe.
You know, maybe
yeah,
he doesn't
might
have
not
it.
drawn it.
Because this isn't great. There's no more fog, right? You can't move to like 55 in fog. It's just not a real thing. If he can't stake Bucharest, the IDS, the IDS will be bigger. But he has a stake.
Stake.
Yeah, he does.
It's a spy.
Got him.
Tricky. Just a little bit too late, unfortunately.
Yep.
Well, in that sense, it was actually wise of Fangs to put off going after that, because you go after
God.
it sooner, you get spied.
If you escape his bat here, you then get the wolf form back too. Okay, that's where the 3rd knife is. It was uncontrolling. Oh, it would have been so good. Why didn't he have?
Yeah,
you know what? He
could've
used all his luck on the
got a
fog.
wolf form back, but you wouldn't have any HP to use it.
That's true. You need to feed. And you know what? He did use a lot of luck to draw his 1 fog out of 18 cards, so maybe that was his luck for the game.
Yeah,
we
he
can't
had
complain
enough
after
luck.
that.
That was all.
He's
he's
already-
getting.
His quota is used up for the game, unfortunately.
Apparently.
And he
Yeah,
did
I mean, it
have
wouldn't
like
surprise
a
me if
strength
the
into a
hand was-
mesmerize. Like he had a pretty good combat hand.
Right.
Wow, that fight was way. I mean, he should be dead. He should have punched, but it's okay. I think Blazon's still gonna get it. It's just he's gonna get to move 1 more time because there's no fog, so he can only move to 50 or 55. Right? They will be able to get at least 1 person on him. I still think Van Helsing has a sense of emergency, but if he doesn't, that's okay. You'll be able to get 1 person on him. He's
I
on
would
1
say,
HP.
Yeah, you move Seward to 55, and if Dracula's not there, then you sense of emergency Van Helsing to 50.
I mean, maybe Van Helsing does have sense of emergency. I really feel like he does. I mean, there's a chance he doesn't. Maybe he just moved to 38 because it was like the nearest port to block off the land route, and it was a big city, so we could supply there and get items. Maybe it's just that, and I'm reading too much into the fact that it's three away from everything.
Fight to the last.
Yes.
Fight to the last.
Skybreaker is really, I mean, he's pulled. I really thought he was dead like 2 days ago. Obviously lucky in drawing the fog, but he did use it well, and then he went to 46, which would have been, if he didn't get discovered there, would have been like a path to victory for him.
He managed to struggle on, and I respect it.
Yeah.
I absolutely respect it.
In his darkest hour, faced by hunters all around him.
Casual game right now, I'd probably just dart call. You know,
just dart call.
Good game. I'm gonna dart call. I need to stretch my legs. You got me. That's enough of that. But I mean, competitive game, nah. You give it all you got. You try.
Well,
you never.
And also, especially Mina only they are not fully equipped, right? John Stewart has rifle crucifix. Mina has just a knife, right? If you get in a one-on-one fight, you are not like guaranteed dead anymore. It's tight.
You could maybe beat him up.
Like, there's no margin for error at all,
maybe
right? You have to land up everything exactly.
Feed, you know, you never know.
Okay, so when you say it like that, it makes it sound like he has. Look, I'm just saying, maybe there should be we can have some Skybreaker believers.
No,
he's saying
it
looks bad.
I'm not being sarcastic.
I think it looked bad 2 turns ago, man. I agree it looks bad, but it looked bad 2 turns ago, and you pulled something out. You can do it again.
I like that he's waited until he's at 1 HP before he's like.
He was fine.
When
he was at 8, everything was okay.
It's like, no, I totally respect that. Before that, he
confidence.
wasn't trying to give away
man.
the poker face to the opponent. You never do that.
And man, what is this? What do you even have here at this point? Like, is it a vampire? I guess you want a vampire. But the 2v1. Oh no.
He's forewarned.
Oh, now he has a forewarned.
They told me your guys were coming. I heard about that.
He got fogged twice, and he's like, never again. I've never. Hey, well, that's a forewarned. I will not
might
get
have
fogged.
a third fog. I can't let that happen.
Okay, he has ice and weather on Van Helsing. That's pretty sick. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's super dead. Unless, okay, I thought he was super dead in the last combat.
What's he gonna do this time, Pizza?
As long as they both, like, Mia plays strength, or knife, and he plays punch, Dracula dies here 100% of the time. If he tries to get fancy, and he plays crucifix, Dracula can survive. But he just needs to punch. Just take your fist, punch him. Look at the, like, be like Rocky Balboa, okay? Just hit him in the chin, he'll go down.
You see this? This is a vampire killing weapon, right? These knuckles.
I'm armed at all times, okay?
Holy knuckles. That would actually be a pretty cool item, Pizza Wizard. It would be like holy bullets. You would carry it, right? And then when you successfully resolve punch, you do 2 extra damage to Dracula because you're wearing knuckles of silver.
It would be nice that, like, you wouldn't have to have a gun to make it good.
Yeah, just a good old punch. You always have that.
Oh, whoa. Why does Mina have a rifle? Oh, did they trade? Oh, he traded to give Mina a rifle. It's fine. As long as he punched, everything is fine. He gave him the knife. He gave him the weapon. Okay. Good. It's fine.
Give her the
super
gun,
dead.
give him the knife. That's very
GG. He almost made it to the 4th week for the IDS bonus. Yeah, that was good. That was exciting, actually. That fog. Oh my god. Really just, like, invigorated. I need to... I'm sure I sounded excited, because I was excited when that got drawn. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, well played to both sides. You know, maybe a little better encounter management in the early game for Dracula might have set him up for a better second half. But it's tough. It's tough to know exactly how the encounters are going to play out. Who's going to go where and who's going to search when. And so you never know for sure. The whole thing at Sophia with the hide and the saboteur may have just been the idea of, I'm just going to put trash behind the vampire in hopes the vampire will mature, you know, which is pretty conventional wisdom.
You just always kind of want to put your trash on actual spaces rather than on hide cards, so that they actually have to go and look at it.
But thank you for joining me, Pizza Wizard. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy.
It was a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get Fangs of Fire in the call and talk to him for a little bit about this game and yesterday's game before I end the
stream. Who won the other game? The other game
Fangs
was it
as
also?
well. Yeah.
Man, I hope this does not discourage Skybreaker because he did. There were parts of that were played very, very like he was not playing poorly today. And we saw that it got really close there, and he played that combat to where even though maybe Blazin didn't punch where he should have, like you could play that combat all sorts of wrong, and then you just die there despite what Blazin's doing. So I think that. I mean, obviously the Fangs and the Fangs into Jensur, but there's a lot of bookkeeping you would have to like not do that. I think it's because wisdom did Fang and to stop a heavenly host. But anyway, great game. I hope Skybreaker appreciates that it was close and that the IDS isn't going to reflect it, but he did a good job.
Yeah, good work, buddy. Thank you for commentating with me. I had fun.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm always happy to be here.
I'm gonna hop in the game one and talk to him for a bit. Feel free to join if you like. Otherwise, I'll catch you later, buddy.
I'll catch you later.
Be good, pal.
Oh.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Gyro.
How you doing, big winner?
Definitely feeling very jived after such a clean win.
Nice job. Yeah.
Let me see. What? It was an ally that revealed him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice search in Bucharest to find him early.
Yes.
Very
East.
lucky.
The East was definitely very.
Game or whatever.
No, well, I think that's it's more that I think it's more that when one starts in the East, Bucharest and Sofia, that was my other thoughts, are very easily visited, and Bucharest is a very typical spot to either start at or put your first encounter, which is why I selected that. It would fit the criteria for either of the two spots that were down. So, yeah, I mean, forgive me if I sound overly pleased, but after getting a complete perfect win, 0 influence just before week 4, I can't help but be pleased with myself after, especially since Drac is my forte. Hunter's not as much, but
yeah, that's a great way to start the tournament. Get a nice
that's
going. Get 2 wins.
That's now. Yep, that's a 2 so far 2-0 record for me.
Nice. Yeah, it was an interesting game. I liked how it was interesting how you went for a very slow approach at the end when Dracula was lurking in like Baltica, Austro-Hungary, somewhere around there. You took your hunters to 50 and did a psychic bond instead of like charging into 10, charging into 22, and tried to bring a slow stranglehold.
I did that so as to block off all the places that he really wanted to go to. I mean, by blocking Sofia, I doubtless caused him a bit of grief. But the thing is, all that good stuff you saw me use, I had more. I had a money trail. I had a hypnosis. Hypnosis was the second card me drew. I had both excellent weathers, so if he did get away to sea, I had plenty of ways to find him and give chase.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clever of him actually to not go to sea from Hamburg, because that bought him quite a bit of time. I think it didn't end up totally working out because Dracula kind of ran out of gas after the wolf form and didn't have that many good places to go, but I think if he'd have just gone to sea from Hamburg and gone to England, that would have not worked out well.
Yes, doubtless.
There's virtually no choice.
I definitely understand his choice not to, considering that I had already, I had Seward on top of him, and Gul'daming sitting at the other port of the North Sea.
And you just played the Renewed Vigor already, so there was a pretty good chance you weren't about to Renewed Vigor again and finish him off, and you didn't. He actually got away for quite a few more turns at that point.
Yeah, it's that hoax that he rumored actually did slow me down a little bit due to the bait, the decoy, I would have searched that 1 turn sooner, if not for the rumor token.
Yeah, I like a nice.
So that was definitely a good move.
Yeah, it was
So-
fun stuff. Nicely played by
Yeah.
both of you. But well
Thanks.
handled. Yeah, you do a good job blocking off the spaces that Dracula wants to move to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
once it gets
yeah.
into the east.
Yeah, and the thing is, at that point, I had absolute perfect horse economy, so I knew I was guaranteed a 2 every single roll. It took me a long time. In fact, the third white one, I actually had to take a couple risks with using horses earlier in the game at the
Right.
beginning. Goldamin's first horse move to Bucharest that he could train to.
Oh wow. That's when you really
or-
don't want to lose your horse.
Yeah. Or rather, to Budapest, I could then train to Bucharest. Man, those two. Yeah. I mean, so what did you Pizza Wizard think?
You said nicely played. Yeah, it was an entertaining game. The double fog action that went on when Dracula was trying to escape Austro-Hungaria was really entertaining. Like
Yes.
Pizza Wizard calculated that he must have drawn that the exact turn that he needed it. That was the only way he could have played the second fog like that.
No. What Pizza Wizard missed, based on the chat, is that he actually played both fogs just before the reshuffle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I figure that he could easily have had those fogs for quite a while, in truth. I of course will never know for sure, but unless we ask Sky, but nonetheless, yeah, it was definitely a good game, and it is. I will say that I feel a little bit sorry to Sky for winning at just that moment, where if he had survived one more day, he would have gotten at least stopped 2 points by surviving to week 4. You know, the survive to week 4, gain block 2 IDS.
Right. You
But
get
as it
IDS
is-
for
Yeah, but as it is,
are on the board, right?
no, well, IDS is determined, and for folks who watch this, IDS, last I checked, is determined by, on the hunter side, how much health, how much influence, you get 15 minus the amount of influence Dracula has, or if Dracula, and to make up for the two difference, since there's only 13 influence, he gets, Dracula, like, quote unquote, gets another 2 influence value if he gets to what's it called?
Just a week.
If if he manages to survive that long.
Okay. But he doesn't get like an extra point for making it to the second week or the third week.
No.
Okay. It's just 2 extra if he
That-
makes it to the final week.
Yeah, that would be a bit like unfair to hunters, like asking them in order to get a full 15 pointer they would have to catch Dracula in the first week. I don't know about that. Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean,
but as it is, I just hit him with a full minus 15 to his score.
it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
And I
get
think
a game where you recoup some of those points by killing your Dracula really quickly or getting away as Dracula really high health.
Well,
Or you
I mean,
make it up somewhere else.
yeah, he did win a game versus Strider, so
That's right. And I'm not sure what his health was like at the end of the game, but yeah.
nor am I. I didn't watch that at one, but in any event, he does have a win under his belt.
Still a
Strider will
lot
win
of
it.
league to be played. You know, it's only just
What's
getting started.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. But but nonetheless, an excellent start for me.
Yeah, buddy.
Strider is my next. Strider is definitely my. Strider is my next opponent for those watching.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we have not yet determined when that shall be happening, but we should definitely let people know as soon as it is determined.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, Bench.
I always like
Thanks
watching Strike.
thanks for watching, everyone, and thank you, Gyro, for obliging with post game.
Absolutely.
And till next time, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody. This has been Captain Gyro, and I'm signing off. Thank you for enjoying the stream and watching a little bit of Fury of Dracula with us. Everybody have a good one.